I like to bid a shalom to the bride of the Messiah, a shalom to the hold on for 1 minute, y'all. Sorry about that. I got to shut my door. Sorry about that. My little one, is fellowship with his friends. Okay. I like to bid a shalom to the bride of the Messiah, a shalom to the 144,000, and a shalom to the nation of Israel, known as Yahusha, for you bear our Father's name in heaven. For you are his bride, Hebrew Israelites, and Yahuwah is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom. I'm bringing you the new moon report, and the title of this new moon report is No Sighting of the New Moon by Israel. When I'm talking about Israel, I'm talking about the land of Israel, and by Brother Howshua. No sighting of the second new moon by Israel and by Brother Howshua. And the subtitle of this video would be Ziph, the second month, known as the month of the Sabbath. And the reason why I label the second month as the month of the Sabbath, you will see why as we go through this report. But I want you to see this icon here. In prior videos, I often share with you to let you know you will have access to the Most High calendar, and there's no charge. So, many people can have access. And I also share you that I do have enemies. Yes, I do. And now look at this icon here. Notice this icon here. It said anonymous dragon. Well, some of y'all may say I might be paranoid, but I know what the word teach me. Those who are of darkness associate themselves with the things of darkness. What do we know about the dragon? The Bible often compared the dragon, like Leviathan, to Satan. Okay. So this is why I'm telling y'all, I do have enemies. They are watching what I'm telling you, because when you give the Most High truth, you're going to make enemies along the way. Not because of you, it's because of he who dwelt in you. And we know the word, who is the Messiah, is the spirit of truth. Okay. So just as the Father had me to go out here and share his truth, they are watching me. And now one day, according to the Father will, I will go in more detail about my life so you can understand what I'm talking about here. But I don't want that to be the focus, but I just want to bring that to your attention. But first, let me go here, because I might be going on some sites that might have some copyright issues. And basically, by me going to other sites, it's for learning purposes, according to the Fair Use Notice Act. Okay. So pause the screen, read that. All right. And now pause your screen to read the rest of that in detail. So I have to get that out the way. Now, let us look at what is going on. Now, we're going to find out why Israel and why Brother Howshua are not able to see the second new moon. Okay. That will be given as we go in this video. Also, too, the Father will let me give you the date, because his calendar is way different from the heathen calendar. And Daniel talks about that in Daniel chapter 7. The correct year, when we look at the year from Adon, we are in the 7th year. It's not 7. I'm sorry, not year. We are in the 7th day from Adam. And a day unto the Most High is 1,000 years. So we are in the 7,000 years from Adam. And the reason I put the S on years, because at this time, we don't have the exact date in the 7,000 years when I'm talking about that 7th day, because we know we are somewhere in from the year of 7,000 to 7,999. We're somewhere in that period. And I love how the Father established unto us that we would have 2 or 3 witnesses. So Beta Israel has been keeping with time. So has myself, as well as Brother Hashur. And all our numbers will confirm that we are in the 7th day from Adam. Proof of this, that you will have to go in the books and add up the years. The Father give us clues, not only with the Bible, but also with first and second book of Adam and Eve. Also with the work of Josephus. And I do want to mention this. When you look at Josephus, remember the heathens did take some things away. They did put their interpretation of certain things, but that book can still be used, because when you under the spirit of Yah, he would guide you and lead you to all truths. And he will always give you 2 or 3 witnesses to confirm. Okay. But what I'm telling you, you can still use that book. Josephus give us a lot of clues too. Also, the book of Nicodemus and many other sacred books you can look at to get an idea of what the correct time we are in. To confirm we are in the 7,000 years, they have found the ancient ruins of Nineveh, ancient Tyre, ancient Babylon, Sodom and Gomorrah. And when they do a study, they will learn that it was only several thousand years old. So what the Father is bringing to our attention, the heathen way of dating, they use carbon dating, is not correct. This is why for them, their findings is not lining up with the Bible. Okay. We have to seek out God for his truth. And we have to ask him for his understanding when we're dealing with time, because the Bible don't lie. The Bible is the truth. It is his word. It comes from him. Okay. So getting back on track here, we are in the 7th day from Adam, which is the 12th day from creation. Okay. If it's the most I may do a video on that. Don't know yet, because I have to go where he lead me to go. And I can't remember if there is a video on the channel that talks about that as well. So what you can do, you can seek out the Father yourself and add up the time and get an idea. It would go along with the book of, it's either in the first or second book of Ezra in the Apocrypha. And that will confirm unto you what I'm saying about the 7th day. Okay, from Adam. So we're in the 7,000 year from Adam. That is the year. For the heathens, we are in the year of 2020 AD to 2021 AD. Remember, the Most High calendar will overlap in the heathen days and years, because they do not follow the circuits of heaven. Now we are in the 2nd month of the Most High calendar. Okay. And this FYI, when you click on the link to the calendar, I'm keeping up with those ones who don't keep the 13th month, because for them, they're in their 4th month. And I know some of them, yes, I know some of them was not adding the 13th month. And I also noticed that they have somehow what's the word I can say? Jump time. In other words, sneakily not admitting there is a 13th month. Okay. So I'm just telling y'all, not all Israelites is going to be honest when they make a mistake. That spirit of pride is heavily upon them. But as Torah is written, the Father again gave us 2 or 3 witnesses. He gave us his prophet Enoch and his writings, and Enoch had written the first and second books. He had also given us the heavens as a witness, and he has given us the earth, because what's done in heaven is also manifest in the earth. And I'm going to use this for example. To know when you have Shavuot in the right season, according to Torah, we are to bring a new meat offering. Every farmer will tell you this, that the wheat is only ripe in the 4th month of the Most High calendar, which is summertime. The wheat is only ripe in summertime. Remember, I told you the Father operates in what? 2 or 3 witnesses. What's done in the heaven, like the heaven give us the sign, then that sign is manifested in the earth. They work together. Okay, this is why it is written in Leviticus chapter 23 that we must count 7 complete Sabbaths and 50 days. That's a conjunction there. Let us know it's addition to. And when you read the book of Jubilee, you'll find out why there was a change. Okay, you have to be under the Spirit to let the Spirit reveal unto you. What's the word I'm looking for? You know how you read something don't appear to you, but when you go back and read it again, that's what it shows. That's what I'm talking about. The Spirit will have to reveal it unto you. Okay. Again, we must have 2 or 3 witnesses. So those naysay about the 13th month, the heavens done prove unto you there is. Those who've been keeping records of the Most High calendar, we have proven that it is. And this is just something common sense for those who are good at math. If the moon circuit is shorter than the sun circuit, won't the moon start earlier than the sun? Okay, it is heavenly common sense. Okay, so now we're going to look at the second month. The second month in the Hebrew tongue is known as Ziph. You can find that word in 1 Kings chapter 6, verse 1, and it means brightness. Now when you meditate on the word brightness, it's like the veil coming off your eyes. You're coming out of darkness and into light. And we have to go back to Torah to understand why this month is this brightness. What was revealed to the Israelites? And we're going to see as we go further in this second new moon report. Okay, but we got to close out some things in the first month. So I'm not going to scroll down all the way. I'm going to go line by line so that way I won't forget anything. But when we look at the first month, okay, and we're going to talk about Mazzaroth and the sun. And when the sun was in its second month, it only had a total of 31 days. And I will explain why or show you how I got 31 days. Okay. This is done with the first month known as Aviv. Okay. Within the month of Aviv, the sun had completed a total of 31 days. Okay. Take this time to pause your screen to look at that. All right. Now we're going back to the second month. All right. The new moon was sighted in the west on April the 23rd at sundown. So I'm going to take you to renew report. But before I do that, the Father's let me know to show you about day 2 of the moon. On day 2 of the moon, Israel still has not seen the moon, nor has brother Howshua seen the moon. Okay, I went on Facebook and there's nothing's posted, okay, on his timeline. All right. Um so and I'm sorry. So it's nothing there. Okay. And it's the reason why they didn't see the new moon. And I'm about to give you that reason now. So let us go to newmoon.com. Okay. So on Thursday evening on April the 23rd, the new moon was witnessed by was witnessed in Phoenix, Arizona, and you have 3 witnesses here. Okay. And like I said here, Israel did not see the new moon, therefore they will automatically make the 24th of April their first day. Okay. So they have not seen the new moon at all. Here's the reason. Let me read this report unto you. The first reports for the second renewed moon of the year came from the region of Phoenix, Arizona on Thursday evening, April the 23rd, by 3 eyewitnesses, initially seen with binoculars, then with the naked eye. Additional reports from Arizona and California were also found, but most indicated use of binoculars or did not specify. All right, so we're going to pause there. Now, when I was out west at one time, this is what I like about the Father. Now everything is worldwide, and we can look at the coronavirus. He's making it worldwide, right? Is not the Israelites spread it out worldwide? Are we not throughout the four corners of the earth? Okay, by knowing that, now we can understand why we are blessed to see it before Israel. Okay, it's a sign unto us, Israelites. Let us know who we are. Even Enoch's talk about the moon doing some weird things. Okay, so when I was out west, I noticed that when you in California, because California is what, about, if I'm doing my math right, about 10 hours from Israel, we are blessed. My computer doing some crazy stuff here. We are blessed to catch it in time. You know what I'm saying? It's like if the East Coast of America don't get it, then the West Coast have a chance to catch it, to make sure we have seen the new moon on its correct day. Okay, when you study the heavens, you'll know more what I'm talking about, because you have to look at location. Okay, that's the big thing. Location play a big key of where you can see this new moon. So those who study the heavens will know what I'm talking about. You know, it's a lot of things that are factored in to be able to see the new moon. Okay, and location is one of them. So when I was out west, when the East Coast couldn't see the new moon, I was able to see it because we have more time in the day, you know, and by the time when the moon revealed herself unto us, we saw it. Okay. And I have mentioned this to the brothers, but because I'm a woman, they ignore me. But anyway, let's keep going. We have seen no positive eyewitness account of new moon sightings from Israel, with the only reports indicating a heavy haze. However, it has been 30 days from the last month's sighting, making Friday, April the 24th, the first day of the second month using this method. So I have another witness of this that would prove that they would start their first day on April the 24th. But look at the reason. The Most High caused a heavy haze to come upon the land of Israel, where they couldn't see the new moon. Israelites, you should be rejoicing, because the Father again is speaking unto you, letting you know who you are. So now I'm going to close this tab out, okay? So let me go to the moon sighting, okay? And we're going to read the biblical calendar form, Aviv, barley, and new moon reports from Israel. And this is the second witness, okay, to confirm what we new moon report had. And it states here, on April the 24th, 2020, no new moon reports received yet. Deborah Gordon stated, at the time of this writing, I am not aware of any positive new moon sightings from Israel this evening. This was expected to be an easy sighting, and the new moon was most likely not visible due to the heavy dust related haze we had here all day. As it was impossible to see the new moon yesterday, and this evening is the end of the 30th day, this means the second month begins at this. This means the second month begins this evening at sunset by default. Do you hear this, Israelites and Gentiles? They couldn't see it. Now, I can't speak for Brother Howshua because he has not posted anything, okay, on his Facebook page. And the page I'm talking about is the Tabernacle of Congregation, okay? I think that's how, no, the Tabernacle of Prayer Congregation is something like that. I can't remember. Let me see. I'll have to go further down and just see. Yeah, Tabernacle Congregation of Prayer. That's his Facebook page, okay? Has not posted anything or listed any reason if he has seen the new moon, okay? If he had not seen it, he has not listed any reason why. Now, Truth Table Ministry, they were only able to see the new moon. And I know you can't see this date here, but they were only able to see it on the 24th. But when you click on the link in the Most High calendar, I'll show you. Let's see here. Let me go make this. There we go. That'll be even better once I get there. Okay, so when you go to the calendar to have access to those photos I showed you, you click on 2020-2021 moon photos here, okay? And you will have access to those photos I just showed you. And when you click on those photos, okay, when you click on them, I do list the link to some of these photos so you can have access to them, okay? All right, I'm gonna close this out. And what I did, I took a picture of that anonymous dragon, someone who's hiding, who's looking at the Most High calendar. I took a picture of that as proof unto you, so if they went away, you won't think I'm talking out of, talking out the side of my mouth. Okay? So yes, our enemies always gonna watch. They always are. But I know who has my back. Y'all has my back. So let them watch. Okay? Now let's get back to the second month. Ziph, known as brightness. The month of the Sabbath. Okay? Here I list any scriptures that relates to the second month, even with our new moon sightings. There are scriptures listed for you to read and study in your spare time. Also, if I see such as like the work of Josephus, if you need to read those things that relates to the Most High calendar, I will list that as well. When you look at the second month, when you look at the timeline from Adam, the 8th day from creation, or day 2 from Adam. This is the month that the Sabbath was given to the nation of Israel. When you read Jubilees, you will learn the history of Israel, and you will learn that they had forgotten the ways that was taught unto them when they went to Egypt. But you will also learn more about the Sabbath, and you will learn why the Sabbath is only mentioned in Genesis. And then later on, you'll see it mentioned again when you get to Exodus. It explains why. Whoever has, okay, I was going to give you a short version of this. For one, to keep the Sabbath in the earth, because they was always keeping the Sabbath in the heaven. Remember, what's done in heaven is also done in the earth. There are laws in the heaven as well as laws in the earth. So there's, for one to keep the Sabbath, you must be sanctified by Yah to keep it. And when you read the book of Jubilees, it breaks it down to you why. You only see it mentioned in the beginning part of Genesis, and then it comes back up in Exodus chapter 16. Okay, so read it in your spare time. So the West saw the new moon crescent on April the 23rd at sundown. So our Sabbath will start from Thursday to Friday, from sundown to sundown, okay? Until the heavens restart the cycle over again, right? This formula can be found by the prophet Ezekiel. This is why I list the most important scriptures up here in this calendar so you can read and study for yourself, okay? Remember, the Most High ways is not the same as the man way or Adam way or the heathen's way. His thoughts is different from my thoughts. Okay. Now, when we look at the first week of the moon, like I said, day 2, Israel still has not seen the new moon. So therefore, day 2 of the moon will be their first day. And Howshua has not reported anything. In the first week of the moon, on day 8, you will have the phase of this moon, which is 50%. So the moon will be increasing in light, okay? And it occurs on April the 30th at 11:38 p.m. And this is based on Israel time. Also, I forgot to give you the day of the sun for the first day of the new moon. My apologies. The day of the sun for the first day of the new moon will be, the sun is in its second month and 5th day. Okay? and it falls on the first day of the moon, right? When we look at the 8th day, which is the Sabbath, the day of rest from that the Most High has given unto us, it is for the sun is day 12 in its 12th and in its second month. Far as the heathen date, day 8 of the moon falls on May the 30th at sundown to May the 1st. I'm sorry, April the 30th at sundown to May the 1st at sundown. Okay. Now what you see highlighted in green is my count to Pentecost. So first I'm counting my Sabbaths. When you look at the other new moon report pertaining to the calendar, right, how to keep Passover, you will see how I got that count. You must know when the day when we keep the sheaf weight offering. Josephus give us that. It falls in the V16, which aligns up what happened in the days of Joshua. That was the day when the manna ceased too. Therefore, that was the same day when the Messiah rose. There's a mystery on the 3 days and 3 nights. The channel has that mystery and break it down because it was a great sign that performed that day that caused a day to happen within a day. Okay? All right. So now take this time to pause the screen to look at the first week of the second new moon. Okay. And again, day 8 is the third Sabbath. Okay. We got to count 7 complete Sabbaths. Right. Let's go to the second week of the moon. In the second week of the new moon, or the second new moon, we have here on day 10. This is the month that those who did not keep Peshat, you have a makeup month. Also read, you can read the book of the Kings in the days of Hezekiah. You can also read Torah and see how that was done as well. But the second month is the makeup month for those who was not able to keep Peshat. Now, remember, I told you our fathers always speak to us in letters, numbers, science, and math. I mean, he's constantly speaking to us. It is the reason why he has instructed the Israelites to get the lamb on day 10. Okay, that you see here. That's highlighted in red. When you go from day 10 to day 14, which is Peshat, which is Passover day, and you subtract the two, what you get 4 days. What would that remind you of? Did not the Messiah preach for 3.5 years? Was he not crucified at the age of 33 and a half? Which go in hand what the two witnesses shall do when they not preach for 3.5 years? Will they not be killed and their bodies lay in the street for 3.5 days? Because on that 4th day, they're going to resurrect. Do you see how these numbers fit? So it's the reason. So what the Father was doing in heaven, he was giving us a foreshadow that would happen to the Messiah. See, when the Messiah was mature, able to preach the word, to preach the gospel that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, he will only be with us for 3.5 years. So in that 4th year, he will be what? Crucified and resurrected. And he will return to the heavens with the captives of Sheol. Do you see this? So this is why the Father ordered the Israelites to get the lamb on the 10th day. And then the lamb was what? Crucified on the 4th day. So I tell you, our Father speaks in numbers. So this year, because the Father calendar rotate, the getting of the lamb will fall on May the 2nd at sundown to May the 3rd at sundown. Far as the sun, because the moon is shorter than the sun, therefore the sun days and months will rotate too. So the sun month on the 10th day of the moon will be the sun's 2nd month and 14th day. Okay. And I think it's amazing how the full moon falls on the Passover day for the 2nd month. Look at that. We have a full moon day that occurs on day 14 of the moon. And you can read Numbers chapter 9 to get more insight about the makeup Passover. And on the day 14 of the moon, it falls on the heathen's day, May 6th to May 7th, from sundown to sundown. Far as the sun, it falls on the sun's second month and 18th day. Okay, so day 15 of the moon, we look at this. This is my fourth Sabbath, counting towards what? 7 complete Sabbaths. This is the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. It's a holy convocation day, a day that we assemble ourselves. And you can read Exodus chapter 12, Leviticus chapter 23, Numbers chapter 28. You can also, here go another serpent. Look at this. Anonymous Python. I'm telling you. You can read Exodus chapter 16. This is the day when the children of Israel entered the wilderness of sin, and this is where they was given the keeping of the Sabbath. Okay, I list many other chapters to read and to study. Also, to see about the firstborn, I want you to read Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 9, and Exodus chapter 4, verse 22, because to understand what does it mean that Israel is the firstborn? What does it mean that Ephraim is the firstborn? See, the Father been speaking us heavily spiritual mysteries, but we wasn't grasping it. We weren't grasping what Torah was saying. Therefore, under the new covenant, we are under the Messiah. So he shall teach us all things, who is the comforter. Okay, so on day 15 of the moon, it falls on the sun's second month and 19th day. On the heathen's day, it falls on May the 7th at sundown to May 8th at sundown. Now we're going to the third week of the moon. On the third week of the moon, like I said, of Ziv 16th is the day of the sheaf-wheel offering day. You know, well, Aviv 16 is, but I'm just making a comparison. Okay, but when you read Exodus chapter 16, I write out for you the days of the manna. Remember, the manna represent the Messiah, because the Messiah, is he not the bread of heaven? There's a video on the channel that gives you the recipe on how to make unleavened bread. But in that video, when you go to the video description box, it gives you the spiritual message, the spiritual meaning of the ingredients, what they represent spiritually. So you begin to understand why the Father wants you to eat unleavened bread. Again, these things are to teach us the spiritual messages and the spiritual meaning. Okay, so when we look at the third week of the moon on day 16, this is the second day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, but it's also the day when the Father fed the children of Israel with quails at even, and he gave them manna in the morning. Okay, and this fell on this year on the heathen's day, May the 8th to May the 9th, from sundown to sundown, far as the sun in its second month, day 20th. Okay, and we can keep reading this on and on, but the manna he gave them the format of the manna, and when we get to day 21, the manna double up to what? 2 omers. Not 1 omer, but 2 omers. And 2 omers mean what? Handful, okay? Because the reason why it was 2 omers, because we know on day 22 was Sabbath, okay? But let us go back to day 21 of the moon. So on day 21 of the moon, it's a holy convocation day. It is a day, it's the 7th day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. This for this year, the half moon that is decreasing in light fell on this day. Okay, and this is also known as the preparation day, the day that we prep before the Sabbath. You see how this all going hand. This is why in the Bible, when you read the gospel, it said, well, it's a high holy day. The Sabbath was coming in. So this is why they had to get him what, in a new tomb before the Sabbath was coming in. Okay, it's a holy day. And we know the law about those who cannot be on the cross. All right, so we will look at day 22 of the moon. This is the 5th Sabbath. when we count towards Pentecost. And this is the Sabbath that Exodus chapter 16, verse 1 to 36 is talking about. Okay? Again, it's giving us the formative format, which goes in hand with what the prophet Ezekiel say. All right? Far as this year, it fell on the sun's second month and 26th day, and on the heathen's day, it falls on May the 14th to May the 15th, from sundown to sundown. Okay? Let me pause this. I'm gonna pause this so you can take your screen, pause it, and look at it. Okay? Now let us go to the next week. This is the fourth week of the moon. In the fourth week of the moon, on day 27, we have the sun enter into the third sign of Mazarah. Mazarah is talked about is talked about in Josephus, Job, and by Enoch. Okay, and it's a Hebrew word that means 12 signs. You can find the meaning of this word in the King James 1611 side notes. Okay, and when the sun enter into a sign of Mazarah, this is what happened, my brothers and sisters. On this day represent the last day of that sun's month. Okay, and when you look at time, when this occur, you can't split the day. This is why you see the next month start on the next day. This is how the Father ordered things. All right, and you'll see what I'm talking about as we go further down in this calendar. So this is the sun last day in its second month, and it's day 31. So the second month has a total of 31 days. So the next day, which is day 28 of the moon, it becomes the sun's first day in its third month. And that's the beginning of the third month. And the reason why I'm putting emphasis on this, because when we look at the spring equinox, the summer solstice, the fall equinox, and the winter solstice, we have to get an understanding when that season began. For example, when spring began, the first day of spring begins after, I'm sorry, the first day of spring begins the next day from the equinox. Not on that day, but the next day when you look at calendar whole days. Okay? Very important to know, because by knowing this, this is how we know when we are keeping the three solemn feasts in its correct season, which is Pesach, Passover, Shavuot, Pentecost, Sukkot, known as Feast of Tabernacles. It has to fall in that correct season. Okay? Very important. So when we look at day 29 of the moon, this is the sixth Sabbath. Okay, remember we're counting 7 complete Sabbaths. This is the sixth Sabbath, and it falls on day 29 of the moon. Okay, which fall on the heathen's day, May the 21st to May the 22nd, from sundown to sundown. Far as the day of the sun, it falls on the sun's second day in its third month. And we have the phase of the last waning crescent of the moon. And then this month will have 30 days, because what we call the dark moon, and the prophet equinox talk about this. When the moon has no light upon her anymore, that is signifying unto us that is the ending of the month. Okay, so it occurs day 30 in the second month of the Most High calendar. It falls on May the 22nd at 8:38 p.m. So it happens after sundown. Therefore, it will fall on the heathen's day from May the 22nd to May the 23rd, from sundown to sundown. As far as the day of the sun, it falls on May the 3rd in its third month. Okay, and now we get into the part I was telling you about counting your Sabbaths. In the word, it said what? 7 complete Sabbath and 50 days. You can read Leviticus chapter 23, verse 15 to 22. Okay, and I'm sorry for the typo here. I didn't indicate what day when the sun entered into the third sign of Mazarah, but it happens on the 27th day of the moon. So I'll go back and type that in and get that corrected. And I put down the date and time that it occurred in Israel, because right now we're in daylight saving times, and I see another typo there. That's supposed to be IDT, okay, Israel daylight saving time. So I give the time for Israel, and I give the time for us that's in America, and that is Eastern daylight saving times. Okay. Now we look at the number of days that Israel had for the moon as well as the Most High calendar. Because we saw it before them, we would have 29 days. That's the Most High calendar. Israel would have 30 days because they didn't see it, so they went by default. Okay, so they started on the 24th of April at sundown. And right now, I don't have any number for Brother Howshua because he has not posted anything. Okay, let's see what else. Now, what is this icon? Anonymous Fox. I'm telling you. Anyway, let me see here. Now, when we look at the prophet Enoch, when he talks about parts, I'm gonna break this down. This is dealing with when the sun entered into the third sign of Mazzaroth. When the sun entered in the third sign of Mazzaroth, when we look at this number right here, you see where my cursor is at. Daylight is about 13 hours and 20 minutes, which is 11 parts. And night would be 10 hours and 40 minutes, which is 7 parts. Now, the time may vary a little bit because remember, the earth has shifted. If you read Yahuwah prophetic messages, he talks about that, Israelites and Gentiles. Please read those messages. Please print them out. Check the video description box if you don't have it. Watch the video, but most important, print it out so you can read it for yourself and you will see how there's so many signs that have occurred to let us know what season we are in. As the Messiah prophesies, he said we would not know the day and hour of his coming, but we will know the season of his coming. And this is why he ordered us Israelites and Gentiles to watch and pray. Okay? So this is what Enoch is talking about. When he's talking about those parts, when you look at those parts, it's letting you know when light would be longer than day, or when day and night would be equal to one another, or when night would be greater than day. Okay, so just a quick review. When we look at the third sign of Mazzaroth that happened on day 27 of the moon in the second month. Okay, what happens on this day? That daylight will be greater than night, and daylight will be about 13 hours and 20 minutes. And night will be about 10 hours and 40 minutes. Now, when you time this yourself and you go out and observe the heavens for yourself and you time this yourself, it won't be exact because the earth is now not in alignment anymore with the heavens. Okay? All right. I hope you enjoyed this new report. When you get a chance, click on the link and scroll down and look at some things. Okay? And if you have any questions, you can always email me at followingthemessiah378@gmail.com. And I'm just sitting here smiling because it's amazing how the Father give us signs and how he's speaking unto us. But it's more amazing when we are able to tune in. We are able to recognize that he's talking to us. Because look at it. Israel didn't see it, but the rest of the world did. Something to really think about. All right. Continue to preach the gospel that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Make sure the people receive salvation that is written in Romans chapter 8. Baptize them in the name of Yahusha HaMashyach. For the Lamb set the example of the Holy Spirit baptism and the water baptism. And we know the water is the second witness in the earth. So we too must do these things. I love you all, and shalom.